put it all the way to the floor. What up, guys? I am here with David from Buerkle Acura.
What's going on, guys?
And he is an NSX specialist, and he is going to tell us about this.
So this is a 2017 NSX. This is number 1,313 produced. A little bit about the car. It is a twin-turbo V6. It has 3.5 liters. The engine on its own makes 500 horsepower. But the trick with this car is that it is also a hybrid. So there is an electric motor sandwiched between the engine and transmission. Now that electric motor gives you 47 horsepower, but 109 pound-feet of torque. And that gives you a little bit of torque fill when the turbos aren't quite at boost. And up front we have 2 more electric motors. So it is all-wheel drive, but there's no physical connection between the front and rear wheels, and no connection between the front left and right wheels either. So it will do true torque vectoring on the front end, and you've got an electric motor in the back filling in some rear torque for the turbos. So really the best things about this car are going to be kind of the instant torque from the electric motors and the steering feel on your corner entry. Steering feel by far one of my favorite on any car.
We're going to see how this stacks up against the Skyline GTR, which I already know they're completely different cars. You can't compare them, but I do love myself a supercar. This is a supercar. And I'm looking forward to driving this. Whew. That's what's up. Alright, so always my number one question is, do I fit? And how do the seats work?
So there's no height adjustment on the seats.
Okay.
So you have you can slide the seats forward and back, and you can tilt the backrest, and then everything else is going to be up to the steering wheel. So you have tilt and telescoping there, and that's
so
about
we're
it.
all the way back. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and
it might change up on you when you start the car.
If
so.
Tall Guy Car Reviews fit, I think I fit, right?
His knees were about here when he was driving, but he made it work.
That was an interesting day. If you haven't seen the video of us in the AutoZam AZ1, I'll include a link to that because it was ridiculous. All right, cool. Well, I guess I need to drive. Can you man to this?
Yeah.
All right.
So there is a spot for the key fob here.
Okay.
Just a little.
We can flip this up too if you want to see.
Perfect. Cool. So just a little holder there for the key fob, and then foot on the brake, push the button, and it will start up.
Okay.
And then it starts with the valves open.
Sure.
And then it's going to start in sport mode, which is going to then close the valves after about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Sport mode is also going to go fully electric when you are at lower speeds.
So right now we don't hear anything at all. So
yep.
We're electric.
We're fully electric. So to the right of the tachometer, you'll see that blue bar.
Sure.
That is your battery charge.
Okay.
Battery is really, really small, so you're going to see that depleting and charging pretty quickly while you're driving.
Okay.
Battery is about the 1/10 of a size of the battery in a 918. So it's tiny.
All right.
So put the car in drive, foot on the brake, and hit the circle button there, and that's it.
And now we're in drive.
So there's 4 modes. There's quiet mode, which is going to limit the engine RPM to 4,000. Okay. There's sport mode, which is your normal kind of drive mode. Sport Plus is what I drive in most of the time. We'll switch into that in a little bit.
Sure.
And then track mode turns off the infotainment, turns off traction control, and lets you have some fun.
Sounds a bit more frightening, but I like it. Alright, cool. Yeah, no distractions in track mode.
Yes. You'll notice how seamless the engine will kind of start and stop.
Yeah.
So this has like an active hydraulic engine mount. And so when it knows the engine's about to start up, it actually softens up the engine mounts so you don't feel any vibration.
Nice. All right, let's take a left?
We'll go right.
Okay, we're taking a right. I mean, the exhaust exhaust sounds nice just in this mode.
Yep.
Alone, yeah, it's not bad.
Inside the car, the exhaust sounds way better than it does outside the car.
That's good. I like the driver experience of being able to hear the exhaust.
I'm all about what my experience is when I drive. I don't care about what someone else hears, really.
I'm gonna put the windows up.
The tint on this is super dark. Like at night, I have trouble seeing out the side windows.
Where am I going?
Let's go right.
Okay. We'll just kind of figure it out as we go. Alright. I mean, this car feels great. I love the top of the steering wheel here is carbon fiber, and it it's nice and flat.
I love the handholds on either side too, right by the paddle shifters, the way it's contoured. It just feels awesome.
The top here is almost more like a handlebar.
Yeah.
I really like that. So.
Yeah. And then we'll go into Sport Plus here.
Okay.
So you'll notice the engine's always going to stay on and the exhaust valves open up a little bit. So it's going to get just a little bit louder in this mode. It's going to hold our revs a little bit longer. We'll leave it in automatic for now, so you can kind of get an idea of how it's shifting. Okay. It is a 9-speed dual clutch, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, we'll keep going straight. The mirrors are wide enough that you can actually see behind you when they're adjusted, right?
That is a nice feature.
Sometimes they put these tiny little mirrors and you can't see anything.
Definitely feel the car is a little bit more aggressive right now.
Yeah. Suspension, steering, throttle.
Yeah, the steering is stiffened up a little bit.
Throttle is super touchy in this mode.
Okay, nice. That's good. There's some cars in front of us, so couldn't quite really keep pulling, but it feels nice, and it looks good from the cockpit of the car. Like this looks good, you know. Like you've got this huge cowl down the side that really sticks out to you in the mirror, and
I love this. The view of the intake vents
right
behind you.
Straight.
Let's keep going straight. I think that takes us over.
Yeah, the view of the vents on the side is fantastic.
Like that corner, it's just like you can one-hand the steering wheel and go around a corner.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, we'll show you in a minute here, but the top of this handle is like flat, you know, and
it's kind of
really
like
lets you hang on to that.
It's kind of like a square, but kind of a circle.
Right. Yeah. You know. All right. So we got some corners here, and. That is nice in the corners. That is really, really nice in the corners. I cannot complain about that.
And the crazy thing is how soon you can get on the throttle, like before the apex, and it just pulls you in. So here, we'll go into manual mode now. Okay. The car will only let you downshift down to second gear.
Okay. I'm gonna do this. If that's all right, we'll turn it. Can you show kind of like like the shifters or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we're in manual mode, and we can only downshift, right?
You can downshift and upshift.
Okay.
It'll downshift for you when you come get slow enough. Okay. It will not upshift. It'll bounce off the rev limiter if you don't upshift.
Wow, those gear changes are just immediate. Whew. Man, those corners. Something else. That feels good. That gave me a little butterflies right there. Coming through that corner. I like that. That's nice.
Drop it down into third here.
Ooh.
And then get on the throttle.
Whew. That is nice. Definitely can't be mad about that. So how many gears do you get to shift through? Because I know you said it's a 9-speed.
Yep.
When it's automatic, but
so it's a 9-speed, but the easiest way to think about it is
First gear is a launch gear.
Okay.
Ninth gear is a highway cruising gear. So you're really driving a 7-speed dual clutch.
Okay.
That's kind of the best way to think about it.
Ooh, we got F40 right here. You don't want this.
So once we get around this curve, we'll come to a stop. Let's do a launch control quick. Let's keep going straight. So we'll come to a stop right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you all the way in track. So in track mode, we get the NSX symbol here.
Track mode. Launch mode. Hold on, I need to get a flyby video. Driving. Ooh. Cameo from the F40. Going a little fast there. Alright, so
foot all the way on the brake.
Foot all the way
Left,
on the brake.
and then right foot on the throttle. You're gonna see it rev up to about 2,000, and then it's gonna beep at you to say it's ready. Once it beeps at you, just dump the brake and you're good to go.
Ready?
Yep.
Ooh. Woo. Whoa, Mexico. All right, man, that was nice. Whew. You weren't kidding about that rev limiter, huh?
No. We'll keep going straight here and we can flip around.
Hey, that's still my dream car, though. Woo! F40 in the wild. Good one, guys.
That's awesome. So here.
Man, I'll tell you, first off, that rev limiter is real nice.
Yeah.
And second of all, that launch control is pretty serious. That was...
It's got some torque off the line.
It does, it does. I mean, it was... Honestly, it surprised me so much because I wasn't expecting it. Like in an R35 GTR, it feels different. Or, you know, in some of the other cars, launching feels different. This was like...
Well, what is an R35 launch control from what RPM? Isn't it like 4,000 or 5,000?
Yeah, 4,000, yeah.
This is from 2.
From 2, so...
It's totally different.
I wasn't expecting it, and it actually was so surprising to me that I didn't shift gears.
I've done it so many times,
Yeah.
and that still happens pretty much every time. So I usually, if I'm ever going to do a launch, I'll actually put it back in automatic. I totally forgot about that, but I'm glad it happened to you.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because honestly, like I said, I was so surprised by the launch that I didn't shift.
I've had guys that on the track, they'll just leave it in automatic because they'll go into a corner and the car will go from 6th to 3rd gear like nothing.
Yeah.
And they said the car is so, the programming on the transmission is so good.
Absolutely. I mean, the shift points are remarkable.
And even being in like a sportier mode, the car will still shift at a lower RPM if it senses you're feathering the throttle.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. Why don't we whip a UE here?
Yeah, I mean, that was nice. I can appreciate that.
And you get a little bit of turbo noise.
Yeah, it's, like I said, the exhaust is nice, but it's not obnoxious.
No.
And, man, it just shifts so smooth. It's literally like shifting in a video game.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, a lot of the cars, when you shift, you know, you feel that, that change. This one, you don't. I don't know if that's cool or not cool. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. It depends on
what
you're using it for.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
If I want a car that's going to kick me in the back, you know, I might look at like an Aventador.
Yeah, yeah. This doesn't have that, like,
and
same kind of torque.
Well, and
but the acceleration is just as fun.
The crazy thing with how smooth it is what it's doing. It's a dual clutch, so it's super fast, but it's using the electric motors to continue to propel you while you're shifting.
Right, yeah.
So you might not have engine power for a couple milliseconds, but it uses the electric motors to fill that, and it all comes together in a really cool package.
Yeah, there's no lag.
And that's literally, if you read any of the Acura product materials about this car, they say 0 delay. They want 0 delay for go, stop, turn.
Yeah.
Because that's what a car needs to do, and that's what it needs to do well. We'll put it back in automatic here, and we'll do the same thing on this stretch going the other way. I actually had a R35 that I raced, and I beat him by a couple car lengths, and when we stopped, he said, "That sounds amazing." And I said, "Well, that's because I bounced it off the rev limiter accidentally."
Yeah, this is nice.
And the crazy thing too is how consistent it gets that 0 to 60. It's not the fastest 0 to 60, but it does the same number every single time.
All right, so automatic, what do I do?
So that's, you don't have to do anything. Same thing, foot on the brake, foot on the gas, wait till it dings at you.
2,000 RPMs?
Just put it all the way to the floor.
Whoa, dude. That was a whole nother animal when you don't have to shift.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, what? Why would you ever launch it in manual?
No.
Oh. Alright, man, that was next level for sure. That's good. That pushed the air out of my lungs. That has to be the electric motors, right?
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. The electric motors give you all of your torque under 2,000 RPMs. And then the higher up you get, the more of that is coming from the engine and the turbos. So
yeah, this is sick. This is sick, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
There's the display, steering
wheel.
wheel.
Here, let's go through the modes in the display. So all we do is flick this dial. So this is track.
Okay.
We'll flick it over to sport.
Okay.
Pretty similar.
Sure.
When you go into regular sport, you'll notice the RPM is it's kind of grayed out, so that's how you know the engine is turned off when you're looking at it.
Okay.
So you'll notice how when we go back into this, all the numbers light up white,
and
when we go back to sport, the engine turns off and they
Gotcha.
get grayed out. I also like, it's a digital display, but they have the silver aluminum trim pieces on the front of the display. It gives it a cool effect when you're looking at it.
Nice. This is the steering wheel I was talking about. So, kind of hard to see, but it is like flat on the top. So you can really, really grip this thing solid. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for the drive.
Absolutely.
Again, NSX specialist right here, David. I'll put his information in the description, and if you need an NSX, he's like literally the person. Cool.
Appreciate
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Alright, so we just got done driving this. Give it one last look here. This color blue is absolutely outstanding. Huge shout out again to David from Buerkle Acura for letting me take this out. Man, I love it. Don't go. Anyhow, back to the skyline. Oh, look back at it. Just look at it. All right. Well, today was fun. We're off to go do more car stuff. Shout out Drive Cartel. What up, bruh?